Valentina. And now please join me in welcoming Prefect Adela Dunkley for this afternoon's homily.
People always say, time flies when you're having fun. For me, time has never gone by slower than when I'm sitting at my job. However, for you, that time is probably right now while you wait for this speech to conclude and for chapel to be over. Right now, time has never gone by slower. However, the concept of time is strangely complex. Time is said to be something we have that we can't afford to lose. But is time really something we have in life? We supposedly have all the time in the world, which we often spend trying to accomplish as many things as possible. But in reality, we don't have the time to do everything, yet alone even one thing sometimes. When you think about it, we're always running out of time, rushing from one thing to the next. In no time at all, the day is over. In the blink of an eye, we're celebrating a new year. And while it never feels like so much time has gone by when you're truly enjoying the events of your life, we're given time for it to be taken away from us just as fast. In life, we're not given time to do things. It's time itself that we must make for ourselves and choose to spend wisely. The second you're born, a countdown is started on the time you have left on Earth. And the funny thing is, we don't know when it's going to end. Therefore, the big question is, what are you going to do with your time here? Now, that may sound extremely scary or cliche, as you may think that you have to change the world or discover something amazing. But it doesn't have to mean that. Maybe that question is changed to, what are you going to do with your time today? How are you going to make the time you have today meaningful? The answer to that isn't just one thing. It should be many. To make your time meaningful and to use it wisely means to put time and energy into all aspects of life and not just focus on one thing. In fact, the best answer when asked, what are you going to do with your life, is, I'm going to live my life to the fullest. And that means to immerse yourself into everything life has to offer without getting caught up on just one thing. John Lennon once said, life's what happens when you're busy making other plans. In life, you can't always have a plan for everything that's going to happen. If you have your life all mapped out and planned the way you want it to be, then you're set, which is great. It means you know what you want and how you're going to get it. However, you have to be flexible, because what happens if the path you've nicely laid out for yourself doesn't work out? What happens if you're led off that path, or if you're so set on getting to where you want to be that once you get there, you end up unhappy and you've missed out on the opportunity to live? There are many instances where people are so career-driven that they end up pushing people away and forgetting to live life while they can. A career is the foundation to a successful life, but it often takes away from other aspects of life that life has to offer. If we only live once, why should we structure our life in one way? Why should we use our time for only one purpose? What's stopping us from traveling the world, or going skydiving, or meeting up with your best friends? The answer is nothing. Nothing should ever stop you from living life to the fullest. You may have a plan for your life, but you should never let it decide your life, because if you do, you're never going to live life to its fullest capacity and get everything you ever could out of it. That being said, what does it truly mean to spend your time wisely so you get a chance to live? It's often contradictory because the phrase, spend your time wisely, is often applied by teachers or parents whose intention is for you to apply that to a single thing. But I think their interpretation is wrong. For example, if a teacher tells you to spend your time wisely, that indicates to you that right in that moment, you should be doing schoolwork. While that may be true, sometimes schoolwork is the last thing we want to be doing. Sometimes there are just days where we couldn't be bothered or physically can't bring ourselves to do work. And honestly, that's okay. I'm here to tell you that sometimes spending your time wisely in class is not doing schoolwork. Now, before every single teacher or parent gets mad at me for saying this, the reason why I believe that is because we can't always be told what to do and when. Each and every person is different, and just because spending your time wisely in class means schoolwork doesn't mean that that's always what you feel is the best use of your time. Maybe people find that they work better in the evening or in a quiet space, and they know that they'll get it done later because that's how they've worked their entire life. My point is that we know ourselves best, and if spending your time wisely in class always means schoolwork, sometimes that's going to lead to people being less productive with their time. However, if you're someone who knows that not doing work in class means not doing it at all, then doing it is spending your time wisely. Think of it this way. This is me and my life, and there's this thing I've been given called time. Allegedly, I have all the time in the world to decide how I want to use it. However, if I never understand how I interact with the time I've been given, I will never be able to use it wisely. If I'm someone who doesn't care, understand, or recognize that I work best in class, or how important my friends are to me, and choose to neglect those facts, then I can't be wise with my time. Using your time wisely coincides with knowing yourself best, because there are many interpretations of what wise is, and that depends on your own priorities and values. It's up to you to decide your definition of wise and how your time is best spent. Identify the things that are the most important to you, and then prioritize and make time for them all. For example, I value school and the work that I do, but I also value sports and my family and friends. While that may not seem like a lot of things, it's sometimes hard to find time to prioritize them all, and there's often more than one thing I want to do at the same time. That leads to a choice where I have to decide what I value most in that moment by reflecting on what the best use of my time is. Whether you consciously know it or not, we make decisions like this every day, where we must decide what is a wise use of our time. And often enough, that leads to getting too caught up in one thing as we prioritize what seems to be the most important and forget about the other aspects of life that are equally as important. If you're so focused on studying and getting the perfect grade, you're going to miss out on having the once-in-a-lifetime experience that's here at Ridley. You'll miss out on going out in the city on a Friday night with your besties or spending time with your family while they're around. While we strive to achieve great things academically here at Ridley, there are also so many other aspects of this school and life that are offered to you, and I encourage you to go out and enjoy them. Enjoy the time you have living with your friends. Enjoy the time you have being on a sports team, or doing the activities that you love, or maybe even being a part of something bigger than yourself. Because let me tell you, whether you're in grade 9, just starting your time in upper school, or in grade 12, getting ready to graduate in a few months, your time here at Ridley is going to be over so fast. So cherish the time that you have with the people sitting beside you, because you might not know it now, but you have limited time with them. Choose to spend your time wisely and make time for everything you love. Make time for school, but also your friends and family, and the activities you love to do, because you never know how much time you have left. Treat every day like it's your last, and choose to spend your time living life to its fullest capacity, because if you do that, you will have had every opportunity life has to offer and live life with no regrets on how you chose to spend it. Thank you.